Paul, a different story than we saw in Game 1 here today. How nice was it to see your team take advantage of some shaky pitching, have that big outburst offensively, and get your young guy his first win?
I get my thoughts would be around the fact that it's a long day at the park late in the year, and we still managed to find a way to, I thought, play some pretty good baseball throughout the day. And, for Chase to get his first Major League win, I thought it was a solid outing, a couple solo home runs, but got through 6. And offensively, guys had a good day. Robbie Grossman, Joe had 4 hits, I think, on the day. And then, of course, Mitch making the return to the field and having a, 6 RBI night, so we kidded him a little bit. He had a chance to add on there with his last at-bat, but just a good day to find a way to win a couple of ball games.
Going back to DeYoung, what was most impressive about how he was able to work around the fact that they were getting on base, their leadoff hitters in the innings a couple times there? Well,
we put some runs up early. We talked some about Chicago's young pitching staff, and we were able to take advantage of some control issues from Giolito tonight and get some base runners and then capitalize with some big hits. And I think there was a couple long half innings on a cold night, and for Chase to try to stay loose, he went out there and you could see the velocity dip each time he'd go back out after a long half inning, and they took advantage and they got a couple of leadoff homers.
How hard was it to keep Garver caged up the last couple of weeks?
Well, concussions is a big deal, and we wanted to make sure that we handled it the right way and took our time. History and all those other things are a part of making sure that we get a player soundly ready to play. Our trainers do a nice job of making sure. We got Slagers back out there after long rehab too today, so there's a couple of tips of the cap to our people that get people back on the field. But, he's anxious to play. I think he mentioned post-game when we acknowledged his night that, sometimes you take for granted when you have good health and you realize, kind of the cliche of the game, but, never take a day advantage in the big league uniform, and he went out there and had a good night today.
He said before the game that his focus was to stay healthy. He didn't want to try too hard and wasn't really worried about hitting the ball too hard or where he was going to hit the ball. Is that a perfect example of when a guy just goes out there and trusts it and doesn't try too hard, that really good things can happen?
I think, in big picture, I think that's been a part of his year. Early on, opportunity, trying too hard, trying to do too much. And it took him a while to settle in, I think, on both sides with his catching. And offensively, we've just saw a steady growth of Mitch as a hitter. I mean, there's been a lot of times, particularly in the second half, where he's gone ahead and take pitches to the opposite field in run-scoring situations to cash in some people. And, we always thought the bat played, and the more at-bats he's gotten, the more confidence and the better the results.
Was the plan always to hold Joe, or was that just a score?
No, not. It was just more game-related and how it unfolded. A different score, different scenario. He might have been in there till the end today, but it worked out with the lead and an opportunity for him to get that last hit of the day, and we went ahead and put Petit out there. It was a nice moment for the crowd to acknowledge it.
Is it a relief to finally manage a sweep of a doubleheader?
When's the last time that happened, if ever? I mean, pardon?
2014.
Yeah. I don't know how many we played this year. Last year it seemed like we played at least a handful. It's a tall order. I mean, just the odds of the game and playing the same team. You can't sweep unless you win the first one, and then when you do get that first one in the books, I thought that the atmosphere around here between games was a lot of guys having fun, some guys packing, all those things that go on in the last weekend of the year, but when first pitch was thrown, we were ready.